Pazzi Chapel was designed by Filippo Brunelleschi and others in the year 1429. Construction began in the year 1441 and was completed in the year 1460-something. The Pazzi Chapel is a religious building located in France, Italy. Today, it is considered a masterpiece of the Renaissance architecture. The architect and engineer, Filippo Brunelleschi, was born in 1377 and died in 1446. He contributed massive quantities to the architecture field during the Renaissance period. Filippo Brunelleschi is one of the most interesting figures in the early Renaissance. One of the reasons why he was so important was because he developed the laws of linear perspective, the one-point perspective. When he acquired this was after he made a lot of trips to Rome. He was fascinated by the Roman architecture. He learned about their construction, about the forms, about the classical architecture, essentially. The one building, or part of a building, that he wanted to convey his ideas, and in order to do so, he came up with the perspective drawing, was the Duomo. This is part of this cathedral in France. The Duomo was a competition that he won, and this was where he expressed the perspective. Now, the Pazzi Chapel. This is an exterior elevation of the Pazzi Chapel. We can tell that he was significantly inspired by the classical architecture and Roman architecture. We can tell this by the notable circles and squares that he has. For example, here from the semi-arc, and these squares here, here. This would be a double square. Everything is proportional. This is not the reason why the Pazzi Chapel is so famous. The reason why is because it not only is one of his masterpieces, but because it gave birth to the Renaissance architecture and death to the Gothic. From the plan was already predetermined. It was a rectangle, not by choice, but because of the convent, which already had elements, so you basically had to plot it in. From the front facade, we can tell that the semi-arc here introduced the dome, which is actually considered the vault, and it is actually a vault like the Gothic, which is good because he is now letting go of the Gothic form and introducing the Renaissance period. Now, he also has 6 columns equally distributed. They are also, to note, they are also Corinthian columns, which represent a young, beautiful woman, which was adequate for the building because it was a beautiful, spatial space for the Pazzi family. Now, another thing we must note is the porch he provides for them. This actually connected to the courtyard here that they have, which connects and spreads out to the rest of the cove. This was actually very important for him because it not only connected to the spiritual world, but also connected to the surroundings. And that's what I have.